Hello. Okay. Okay. I think we're live now. Hello. Good afternoon. So yeah. All right. How's it going? Yeah. Good evening. Hello. Yeah, been good. Thank you. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a snow, kind of like I don't know, a few days ago in Paris. We got a like one centimeter thick of snow, which is good, which is very nice because it's kind of changed the look and feel of the city a lot. But it's just one night, and now it's melting down, and it's becoming warming up. But I think we are really happy to have it because I guess that's it's not super common to have snow in Paris. I think last year is like very thin and we barely see it. But for like the a few days ago, it's more like it's last for 2 or 3 days. So every park becomes white, and yeah, I think for me it's like I'm living in a kind of I was grow up in a south of China, which doesn't snow at all. So so as my girlfriend, so we don't get a chance to see snow very often, and that's a interesting experience to see snows in city. And now the weather is becoming a little bit cloudy, and I think it's raining now. Yeah, I hope the temperature could be down for more a couple of days more, so you can like every time it's rains, it snows, right? All right. So how about you guys? Do you live in north? Like maybe snow is pretty often to you, or maybe annoying. I don't know. I guess that's when the snow gets sick, get very heavy. It can be annoying because the like airway is sleepy or like a car is hard to move. I don't know. I never experienced like living in a city that snows for a few months. For like I never experienced that. I think I just like go to like Hokkaido to see the snow, and here in Switzerland, and that's it. I think. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't actually know what would be uh what would the life to be when you live we we were living snows for a few months. I don't know. That would be a fun experience, but I guess that would be not very convenient. I don't know. But I know that they kind of some put some like magic sand or salt on the land, so like it kind of increase the Oh, it's lower. Is that? No, it's increasing. Increasing the melting point of the snow. So on the land you don't get snows that much. I don't know. And also like there's like how to say card or something. It's like they will clean up the way. I don't know. Yeah. It's, you see that I'm super south, so I don't know. I know nothing about north. I think I'm well, not in tropical yet, but super close already. All right. I think that's continue doing. Yeah, that's back to work. I think. So let's continue doing the learn.nuxt.com. And I think again that we are pretty close to what I expect to be finished. So you see that we already have so many things already checked, and the core functionality is good. And so we're basically just adding some like little nice new features to make the experience better. And then then I think that we can finish this project as a live streaming project. So so basically, I would expect it to be finished this week. So today, uh, so so today and the one on Thursday, and that would be I think that the Thursday one will be the last episode of this project, and then I will more focusing on the content, and then basically I think after like 1 or 2 months, I think we can get these things ready to be like to be kind of like general available for people to try these things, or like a public beta or something. But I mean, we are building on public. But basically, so this is like the last two episode of this project, and after that, I think I will take a break. So so this week is the last week we do the live streaming, and after this, I think we will go a bit like a random. uh, I did a poll on Twitter. I can show you. I haven't tracked it yet. So I did a poll on Twitter to see that what you want to see for me to streaming the next after this project. Where is it? Okay, this one. So I'll copy this here. Okay. So basically, I was asking that what do you want to see, and so most of you want to see the like 50%. That's a lot, and so want to see me creating new libraries, and I'd really love to do, but I think to do so, it needs a I don't know inspiration or also called ideas, and so that means that to doing so that would be a bit random. So when I come up with some new idea, I will just keep it, and so I will do a kind of temporary live streaming and to build this idea. So I think I'll find times roughly the same as this time. So but it can be any day in the week. So what I'm going to say is like so after this week of live streaming, I'll take a break, and then we're doing a bit like unscheduled live streaming or like uh randomly when ideas comes up. So so I hope you're enjoying so far, and I hope this can be still be helpful, because I think that's maybe it's not always the case you're going to build a next tutorial or like a playground like this to use step this, but I think hopefully that's the the technical decisions or like the way I'm coding can be beneficial to for you to understanding like learning Nuxt, or like get your job done as well. So or maybe like if you really build a something other playground like this, or like I'm happy to know. Just let me know, and maybe like we could have like a showcase list or something that's I don't know. I'm not going to say this is like a homework, but if you build something similar and inspired by this, I'm happy to know, and maybe you can create an issue on here, or oh yeah, talking about this, I think I should that you know. So where is it? Oh, I lost track of it. So I think there was a yeah, this one I think. So there's an awesome repository. So 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 it's a Nick wireless. Okay, and it's amazing job. I actually I feel a bit like flattered to have people to do this for my streaming. But so you basically they create a kind of summary or a note about what do we have for the live streaming for this project, and then this is like a very detailed summary. So so I mean you can also give a look of like what I mean. That's yeah. It's like if you're trying to following up uh the whole episode. But I guess that if you are watching here, probably already watching also before, right? But I don't know. But it's just like this is can be a very good reference because it's providing all the links of which some I kind of feel guilty. This like this is something I should do, honestly. And anyway, thanks for making this. So it's a very detailed guide of like what time is it, of like what I have mentioned, and the project, the links, and also like what I'm like what I did. So it's amazing, and thank you. So I think I'll put these things maybe somewhere in the repository or in this channel, and yeah. So definitely go check it out. So that's what I'm saying. And yeah, so I hope this whole episode. So this is not really. So this live streaming, to be honest, is not really a tutorial. But it's just like this is something I'm going to do. But I just because we started from scratch, so I'm just thinking, okay, maybe let's show you what I'm doing. So show you how I'm doing from scratch. So this is more like my work, my job, but turning into a live streaming. So I guess there is some concept that can be a little bit like complex, like setting up Vola or setting up a web container. But and some of the detail might not be like general usable for you or for your project. So, but anyway, I think we had a very good time, and right. So let's start about today. So I think let's do the quick catch up. I don't think I did anything. So this is a January. Okay, this is okay. Yeah, I think yeah. I think I did basically nothing, rather than fixing a bug of the dot size. So basically like setting the default size here, and that's it. So yeah. So we don't have anything to catch up, and so for today, I think we can improve the navigation experience and the searches a little bit, because if I remember that the last week, uh, what we are doing is like Command K, and you can search for view basic, something like that. Okay, the search is not super torrent yet, but it basically means that you can use the Command K to navigate to search. And I think there's one button missing, and I think we should differentiate the title and the subtitle. So getting started is actually a subtitle. It's not a title of this document. But so that's something we're going to improve. But I think that can make let's make the overall navigation experience better. So basically, we're going to introduce a drop down here and also a breadcrumb. How do I pronounce it? This one. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Crumb. I don't know. So we're going to make it as a multiple level of the navigation. So it will be like a guide and a triangle, and then like when you go to view basic, it can be like guide, triangle, view basic, and get started, something like that. So you can click to navigate, and also there can be a drop down button to click up and to shows the full list of all the tutorial available. And also at the end of this thing, I think we are going to have a previous tutorial and the next tutorial button. So similar to, I think, Beach.js style. So if you do like this, I think you go to the down, you go down, you will be a previous page, next page, and you can click it so that you can have a bit like linear thing to do. So this is I think it's today's goal. And again, I don't know how to do it. And we're going to mess up with the next content again in order to get those information. But because we already did the command K, so I assume that it should be straightforward to go to get this information. So to do the navigation, like next and the previous, we probably need a linear list of what the guide is, how many guide we have, right? So I think it might be easier to do the drop down here. So that's I think we can have a list and then we can render it first, and then we will see like how we can use those information. So yeah. So before we start, do you have any question? Do you have any quick questions and I can answer it about this project or like what we're going to do? Output. Cool. Query content. Yeah, sure. Sure, you can ask any. You can ask something. You can ask like if you have any doubts on NAS content. Though I'm not so sure that you. I think you just let's see what's your question. Otherwise, I'm just worried. I won't be super helpful because I don't, as you can see, I don't know uh what is happening for next content. I only have the basic concept, and as you see, I'm just reading the docs as you with you. Important. Cool. Query builder. So it looks like we are going to use this fetch content navigation. And we also have this. Okay. What's the best way to connect RSS with NAS content? Okay. I don't really know. So you have sign map. I guess these things can be helpful because okay. There was a module for Nuxt 2, but you don't have that thing for Nuxt 3. So I think basically it sounds like it's a responsibility of a Nuxt module, and if there is not if there isn't one, and maybe you can create one. But I think down the line, at the I think that would be super similar to the sitemap. So sitemap is like basically you get the relationship between all the content, right? So here you put a server routes and sitemap and xml.ts, which will serve the routes sitemap.xml file, which means that will be I think that will be the same if you do the rss.xml, and you can get the content from serve query content, and so differently, just like you output different results. So other than the sitemap, you return the result of RSS. I think that would do. But I think it definitely deserves to be a module. It can be like a Nuxt module, Nuxt content RSS or something. So I would imagine, because we have the capability of generating sitemap. So I think that would be very likely to be possible to generating RSS using the same way. But I don't have a lot of experience with RSS either. But uh, yeah, okay. You can also like use pre-render and the raw sitemap. So this can be happens on the build time, and you don't need to pay the cost on the runtime. So uh, yeah, so I'm looking forward to your news if you're going to build something like that. But uh I think NAS content, the benefit of NAS content is super flexible. You can query the content. Uh so it ships the content with your runtime. So if you use um if you use server side render, the content will ship with your server bundle, and it can be server side rendered. Or if you don't want the server, they can be like pre-generated using this pre-render. So this can happen at the build time. So it's a bit like a SSG, server side static side generator. So you don't pay any cost on the server side. Well, that's if you want. You can also have dynamic content from the server, so you can connect it to a database something, and you feed the content or you update the content from the database without redeploying your site. And you got a server side and you got a client side rendering. So so different from like a stack like VPress or Astro, that all happens on the build time. So every time you change the content, you need to rebuild your site. NAS content allows you to provide the content dynamically, and that will be more flexible in general. And yep, but also I think NAS content is uh, a little bit more complex to set it up, but we'll see. So okay, I hope I answered this question. So let's go use these things and try to build the job down here. So I'm not yet sure like how we can do it, but let's do it. So we have the docs, right? And here is the navigation. Here is the navigation item, and we can just copy these things. And I don't know. I'll just print this thing. And all right. So you have a lot of things. Okay. So you have a title, view, path. Okay, you already have the tree, which is nice, I think. So do we have the type for this nav item? So I think let's do a component for it. So it's a nav item. So it's content nav item, and we take a pause. Right, and take the pause. So the item can be a nav item, but we don't have the type for this. So I'm wondering that can we find the type? Okay, this is broken. Okay, here. No, not this one. So then go to definition. Okay, here. So nav items come from the type, and type is from NAS content runtime types. So yeah, I wonder if you can have the type from NAS content. I would doubt it. Do we have a list? No, we don't have the type for it. And then how we can get it? Types like this? Do we have it? No, we don't have it. Um. So how can we do it? I don't really know how you can get a type from Nuxt content. TypeScript support. Okay, it's really like this. All right. Okay, I'm good. So we basically say like this and nav item, and the type does not resolve, and that probably could because do we have a ts config configured? Okay, here, and okay, I just restart the server. It seems it should resolve the okay, we have it. Oh, nice. No, okay, good. So here again, we're just putting the item, and to do so, I think here we can have a list, and we don't care about the layout yet. So we have these things, and we have v4, yeah, like that. Okay, cool. It just works, and all right. So you can see we have these two items. So if we're adding a little bit like a border and red, so we add a red border of the item, so you can see. Okay, we have all in total 3. Uh, so the okay, I would expect this to be the first one. And what can we do? The content, the index can be $0 index. Really? I'm not so sure. I can try. I will just restart the server to be sure. Yeah, hello. Because I was thinking that index can be a special handle. I'm not so sure if you can have a 0. So let's try. Uh, all right. Then it's on the top, and I think this order is something I'm expecting. So uh, I'm actually not very sure that's what we should do, but how we can style it. But let's do it like this should be a flex, right? And flex column, and the gap can be 2. All right. So this we have the gap. Maybe gap 2 can be 1. And then we have the pending one, and it can be a flex. No, I think here is a bit different. It's like we have the title and we have the content. So the content need to be like this, and this is for trial. So we have pops. No, we can just use item trial children, and this can be only shows if we have the children. Maybe also dot length in order to make sure. And then here we have the item name, and the item name can be a Nuxt link, I suppose. So it can be a Nuxt link, and it tools and item dot path, something like that. And we do a flex and gap 2. So we basically need an item here. We basically need an icon here, and then the title. So okay, so we have these things, and we got the let's go get the icon. So the icon comes from this and file. Use home. I guess. Let's go grab a regular file, maybe. Okay, it's a bit like this. All right, and alignment again. So item center. All right, and so we basically have this, and So I think a bit different is more like we should do something like this is v. So we should treat differently when it's just a link. So if yeah what I mean is here. So we do v else like this and wait. Let me think about it. Yeah, I think the case will be like here, and it should be a folder. Uh, what I'm not should I do these things or should I do these things? I think maybe we could go. Let's go folder for to make it a little bit easier, I guess. So basically, if you have content, if you have children, and it should be a folder, and you should expand it to be view basic, view concept. Okay, and then we basically have we can just remove the border. We can remove the border for now, and then if we have a children, right? So I think we basically have again recursive. So it's a content navigation item, and for child, oh, it works. Okay, so basically have this thing. Wow, this is a bit different than I expected, but okay. Uh, so we basically have a pending left 4 maybe to indent it inside. So this is the tree. Well, that's later we're going to make it as a drop down and also like scrollable, but for now it's actually easier for us to do so. So okay, interesting. So let me print the item children again. Let's see what is happening. So here, you have the view basic, and the path is intro, and then the children also has the title exactly the same. So I think that is because uh, we have a lattice layer of like this. So that would be interesting. So what we could do is so I think we could override the item by providing a compute it. So I'm not so sure how we can do it, but it basically means that what I'm thinking is like when we check if the children has uh only one, yeah, I think let's do it. So if pops the item the children the length uh equal to 1, and that means we just return the first child, and then we just return the item. So oh, interesting. So I think we probably need to call it another name. Okay. Item dot children. Hmm. So how do we call it? Because the item is already here. um, it can be a resolved item, I guess. It doesn't really matter. I just call it resolve. And item. All right. And this is not a result. This is item. All right. So oh, okay. Then we are good. And I just remove this thing. Okay. Then I think now we have a bit better outline of our file, and then we can click it and to navigate, and that is good. And I think uh we can like folding those things. So it'll be, I don't really know that's how you can what's the best way to do the folding. So I'm thinking that we can do the detail. and detail will be like that, and then we have the summary, yeah, like that, and then we can click it. And here is the thing is out because we need to style it. uh, I think that's fair. And how we can style it, so we can do CSS remove triangle from details. Yeah, it's more like this. So strong, what's that? WebKit detail marker. This sounds not cross browser friendly, so we probably need to also try it. Let me think about it. Would it better to use detail, or we use? I think I think detail would be a little bit better, right? Do we have any details in this project? No, this is the first time we use the detail. And so yeah, that's right. So we add a style here and we paste these things, right? And we probably need a class to make sure. So it's a content navi item, and we should guard it. So this is only applied in these things, and we should add a scope. So it's only affecting this this component, and hopefully we don't have the triangle. No, we still have the triangle. Oh, why we still have the size arrow? So now we still have the triangle. Okay. Okay, maybe it becomes a standard. So that means we could copy over and we select the marker. I hope that would do. No, it's still not selected. So it's probably because the scope is not affecting this one. I think it's probably because of the scope. Wait. Summary marker. That's weird. So it's a content nav item detail summary. It says this has been referenced now. Summary. Still not being selected. Display none. We already have it. So the type is here. Is that appearance now? Nope. Right, it's not working, right? Okay, try another one. Okay, so it becomes a okay, like this. So maybe this would work better across different browsers. It's interesting that when you search, when you search on online, like you got a lot of different solutions, and this is particular interesting because uh, this is particularly interesting because this is like something that's only being exists like recently. So this is a new syntax, a new HTML tag that have been introduced, I don't know, like 5 years ago or something, and the spec changes a lot. And the reason you are going to see these things is because at that time maybe only WebKit support that thing, and this is a vendor prefix or something. But now it's probably every browser support it. Okay, great. Now we have that things, and finally, so we probably also need a little bit like our own triangle here, right? That would be this one, I think. Do we already using this? Nope. Anyway, I think we could do it. Oh, I think I asked. Okay, this one. Good. And cool. And you got the triangle. And we also need to do the animation. So that's do our covered. So we can do class like this. And what we could do here is like content navigate details, right? And we do open. And when it's open and we select the class and we do transform rotate. Okay. Compiler reads me. And when we click it, you see that the triangle become your triangle like pointing it down. And we can also add a little bit like transition, and then we can have a duration. Duration we can have say like 400. 400 means like 400 milliseconds. And when you click it, you see like the triangle moves a little bit. When you see it, yeah. And now the pending is a little bit weird, right? I'm not a fan of this pending. So that means probably at the top level here we shouldn't have this one. Okay, and to align these things, I think we will just put in an empty. Where is it? Here. So here we have this button, right? And we can just put this button, and to get it we can opacity 0, like that. So this one will be aligned with that. And this is probably too big, and the spacing is also might be too much. So we do like this, and we small it down so we can put size small, text small, and like this. It's okay. And maybe we adding opacity 50. Yeah, I think that looks better. All right, and this is the link, and we don't have any. I mean, I still feel the pending is too much. Okay, so maybe this one P1 we should make this PX1 and PY0. So, and then it'll be, yeah, maybe a little bit better. And this link we can probably have a hover text primary. Okay, and you hover it, it becomes a green and it's clickable. All right. So I think maybe here margin left 1. Yeah. All right. So so basically we have this list, and we shouldn't put it here. I just put it here because we can see it directly without any interaction. And we should make it as a drop down. And I don't really know how to that's how to make a proper drop down here. So since we already have floating view, so we can probably use it. So the floating view, we introduce it to have these things, to have this pop up. So I think to make it simple, we can use the same, and so we can check. Do we have like a drop down? This one. Okay, but we don't need the. I don't think we need the triangle here. So, so one easy way to do it, because this is more like a pop-up, more like a tooltip for me. But I think we need to take the full space, so we can probably do it by our own. So the first is like we should just remove these things, and we can do a flex auto, and then I think I'll just copy these things. I'll remove this, and instead of right, I go down, and I don't need a transition, I guess. So here I'm just adding these things. So this has a little bit like a little bit triangle here. So it's adding a little bit like hint to say this is actually clickable. And then we can have a button. We can make it as a button, and then we can have like show how do I say content drop down, maybe. Okay, so we have a post, and when you click the button, it'll becomes a bit like reverse it, and no, it's equal to this one. And when you show that, so we can probably, if we want, let me think about it. So I think we could have it in here. So I can have a relative, right? And then this is like a border thing. So I think we'll just put it on top, and I'll copy this. I paste the. Did we remove it? I forgot to copy it. Really? Anyway. Okay. Anyway, we can do it easily. So we can have a depth, and it's a flex and column, which means like you flex it vertically, so it's laying out items horizontally, and then we can have the content navy items, and again, so that should works. So here you have these all things, right? All the things, and what we do is like we add a background base, yes, and then we add an absolute, and top, which is 0, left is 0, right is 0, and max height can be, I don't know, max height can be 80 viewpoint height. Maybe 80 is too much. It doesn't matter. So we'll fix it later. Okay, and the z-index. So if we don't want to deal with the z-index, I think we can have it on the bottom, and this is the navigation drop down. All right, and so we add a border on the bottom base. Yeah, so you basically see these things, right? And I feel so adding a p2, but I feel this drop down. So I haven't do any logic here, but it basically means that we can do, let's do a VE for now, so which can be, make it simpler. So show content drop down, right? And when you click these things, it will shows up this. So I'm thinking that maybe we should move it a little bit below, so it's after this title. So in order to do that, I'm actually not so sure how we can do it. So maybe here, instead of like we do the relative here, and we move this drop down to the content. Whoa, what happened? Okay. So I think we should wrap it again. Okay, and then article. it shouldn't put it inside the article, and the relative should be putting it here. All right, and then we basically have these things as a drop down. You see the all the file list, and we could have yeah, and then like here you can have a class to say that if you have a show content, uh, then we can do like rotate 180%, 180 degrees. And so again, I said we should we should get back the transition and duration 400. Okay, so when you click it, the curve becomes up and left, and then you can navigate to it, and you click the routing. And when you click the routing, I'm thinking that maybe you should close it, right? And actually, maybe it's better. You see that this is adding the here, but maybe we should add a little bit blur and transparency in order to see this is like actually an overlay. No, I don't know, but maybe you can try. Maybe it's not a good looking thing, but let's try. So here I had the background base, right? And so we can have a background opacity to say like maybe 50%. That would be, would that work? No, it doesn't work. So let's go to check. Yeah, let's check the CSS first. And okay, it has a lower, how do you say? Because here we have the dark and background base, something like that. So it's like a two selector, while here is only one selector. So so to do it simply, we could have a like important prefix. Uh, so here I just make it, and then it should be like here. Okay, and you can see the opacity here. Well, this is not the best, right? But we can add a backdrop filter. I think it's a backdrop filter and blur. We can have a 10. Oh, wait, what? Why I'm forcing to do so? Backdrop blur at 10. Okay, I should go back to. All right. So it's adding a little bit blur. And it's okay, but what happened? The scoring is okay. Overflow hidden. Okay, what happened? Height. Oh, hmm. That's interesting. Since I changed the layout, the content cannot be scored. What happened? Right, this one. Okay, okay. So I think it's this one. So I think we add a edge fold. Yeah, good. So then we can have a blur effect of this pop up. uh, I don't know. It's better than nothing. but it feels a little bit weird to be honest. But I don't know how to improve that. But we will see. So um, so the view, the title, we should make it better, and basically we click it, and so what? How can we do to close the? Okay, make it easy. I think we should go. We should move these things to be to inside the UI, and so that means we can say uh, is so we can say is content drop down shown, right? And then we return these things. So we always prefix with is. So then it's kind of indicating it's a it's a boolean variable. So use UI state, and then we can have a UI dot these things. Is yeah. Copy this. We copy this. Good, and this one, right? And then we can have these things. Here we have the Nuxt link, right? And when you click it, we think we should kind of close these things. So we can add a click event at equal to false. And again, we think we need a UI here. Yeah, that's it. So that means when you click it, when you go to another page, it'll be closed. It'll be closed, and then you can navigate easier. I think the opacity is too much, so we should probably adjust this maybe like 80. That'll be better. So at least just like giving a little hints is like it's a drop down, but then it should be fine. And all right. And here I think we should put it as a button or something. Oh, when there is a button, it doesn't work. Cool. So we have a cursor pointer, uh, cursor pointer, and select none. Yeah, and then you can make it more like a button. But I think we still need some like UI hints. When you're hovering, you should be, I don't know. Maybe we can go like 85% of opacity, and when you're hovering, it becomes like 100, something like that. But I don't really know. And also like I think here it should also shows that when you are in an active state, uh, to say that when you are on this page should be having some color or something. Yeah. So here P2, PY2. All right. I think here there's still a lot to improve. And maybe let's tweak it a little bit. So this PL4 is probably too much. Okay, two level indentation is better, I guess. And maybe we can go like PY.5. If I zoom up to the normal size, okay. I think that looks okay. And later we can still improve it a lot. There's a lot of improvement to make. And then okay, that's committed. So it's a very basic one, I would say. Yeah, a shadow might also do in the light mode, but I'm just afraid that when I do live streaming, I just try to avoid not to switch the light mode dark mode because uh when you're working on all dark mode, if you are watching like I'm just like turning into black, it might, I don't know, broke your eyes. So the shadow is not important, but I think we will add it in the in a light mode. I will do it later. So yeah. Hmm. So let's do the breadcrumb and let's go check the Nuxt content again. Query content. Okay, so the document driven, you can use the use content, and use content has, oh great, you have a next and the previews, and that is something I love to have. So maybe one easier thing to do is like content doc, which is a, oh this is a, okay, is that we can not wait for it? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. That's a wait for it. It's fine. And okay, so basically we have a lot of things here, right? We have a next, and let's comment it out. We can have a next and a previous. So here we can have a depth here, and we can have a next, and then previous, and let's see what we got. Okay, we have two objects. That's really nice. So the slash is here. See, the previous is undefined, and that makes it super easy. So you go border and top and base and panning full, and let's go with I don't know, flex. It will also do, and gap full. Yeah, I don't think we need gap at all. And so it basically means that here it should be a Nuxt link, right? So this is the left. So this is a previous. So we just do it like this, and this is the next. And in the middle, we put flex auto, so it just space, it's expanding the space in the between. So here we put v if previous, and here is again v if next. So we put the object inside so we can see what we have. Good. And next here, I'm just cleaning it up. All right. So so here you have the path, and you have the title, you have the description. You also have the OG image. Okay, that's a lot of information, but basically means like we bind two to be previous path like that, and again here next. So we can have the previous title and next title like that. So we have a view basic, and do we need a description? I don't I'm not so sure if we need a description. So I think the title is good enough already. So we just remove this object and we do some styling. So here, yeah, see the next view basic, and if you click it, good. But it doesn't okay, it doesn't give me the previous, but it works, right? Okay, cool, very nice. And okay, I think this is based on the chapter. So that means that when I go to the next tutorial, the homepage, it only shows the next, right? And when I in the this is the view, this is the view basic, and inside here I only have next because we don't have the previous one. But I think that that's okay. That's already enough at this moment, I think. So to get the style, I think we can reuse the where is it? We can reuse these things. And this is a component, I think. So it's a content card. Okay, content card itself is already a link. That's cool. So let's try. So we put content card, and I think I just let's do it on the next first. So two will be so next content requires title, description. So let's give it all. Title, description. I think description might be too much. Okay, maybe the title can be next. Or maybe description can be next. But anyway, so icon. So icon can be, let's see. Okay, cool. The icon can be the right arrow. Right. So maybe this one. So the icon can be here. Yeah. So then you have this little right icon. And then it's basically like we basically want to right to be right. So we align it as a right. So I'm thinking that maybe you should just like items. Would that do? No, it doesn't do. So content card. So it's a flex, and then it's okay. So that means probably like text end, line to the end. Okay, that'll do. So I think that the thing is like the description is might be too much. So the description can be just saying like next page, next section, something like that. Remove the thing. Next session. Next view basic. What is that? Oh, I have these things inside. Cool. And then it's look like this. And then we basically copy this over and change all the next to be previous. Yeah, line clamp is also work, yes. And then we can have a left. Okay, cool. So we have these things. And I think I should align these things to be, oh yeah, I should remove this end. And P4 might be PY4. All right. And now we can have basically these two. And I think the pending might be too much. But let's see. Oh, I see now. So this is because this is a bit tricky because the right side is gone, so it becomes unbalanced here. So this will be more balanced. So basically, I think we still need to use a grid. I think that would be easier to control. So, and we probably shouldn't use VIF. Let me think about it. Or maybe we'll just add a container here. So we basically add a def here. So make sure that even though the content itself is it can be a VIF, so it can be disappeared, but the container is still there. And then we can use a grid, right? And grid can say a grid, and then we have a columns, and the columns can be one friend and maybe two friend and one friend. So that makes like that's 1 to 1, 1 to 1 to 1, 1 to 2 to 1. Yeah, 1 to 2 to 1. So it's like it's not working. Okay, I think maybe this card has a little maximum width. Ah, how can I do it? Hmm. So if we remove the minimum width, it'll be look like this. Okay. I think the minimum width is for case like this. And I wonder if I should put it in the content. So the max, the index, the zero dot index here. Probably easier to just put it here, right? 80, like that. And then we have these things too. Okay. It doesn't work. Ah, it should, right? Okay. Yeah. Hello. Okay. It's not working. I think that is because the class is not being generated. So the CSS sorry, Uno says that failed to generating the type the class of the this one. So I think here you have the class max with 80, but here it does not generating the class. Oh, it does. Oh. Ah, I know. It should be a minimum, not a maximum. Okay, now it works. Okay, cool. And then we have these things. Not too bad, I think. So maybe we don't need this border. Where is it? Here. Yes. So maybe we don't need we need a top border. I think that's too much. So maybe 1.5. Or maybe let's just do like 111. Yeah, I think that will make it more balanced somehow. And margin top, we can have a 6. 6. All right. So it will be look like here. So the next section. I'm a bit worried if these things can be a little bit too big. And should the arrows on the button. And the arrow, I'm not feeling very good about this arrow. Maybe let's use the regular one, which is without the Juto. Yeah, I think this is better. Okay, I think we're good. Probably the left margin is a bit too much. So it's, I don't know, 2. Yeah. I think overall it looks good. I just feel the spaces might be too much. Just the height might be too much. Yeah, so if we really want to fix it, I think let's copy this over, put it here. So the content nav card. So we don't need this working in progress flag. Yeah, we don't need these things. And so we basically, so this is the flex. And then we have a flex column, right? And here we can change it to be content nav card. All right. And all right, it's a bit weird, but I think this is like a flex reverse. Reverse. I think it's row reverse. Yeah, like that. And again, I think the text is right. All right, and I I'm, I kind of feel doubts if this is actually looks better. Yeah, fine. No. This is not the file I'm changing here. Yeah, I don't really know. I kind of feel the previous one is better. Two right hand center. Yeah, E1. This one. Yeah. Is this better? I don't think so. I think the previous one is better because the alignment of this button is a bit weird. Looks more elegant, really. Because I feel this weird. This thing is a bit weird because this is not aligned with this edge. Let's check. Let's check how they do it. So Nuxt.com, I think we already saw it. So it's like this. So it's taking a whole lot of space, but it's and also it has the description. Yeah, I think maybe we should go this one. So and for vpress, so for vpress it's like, oh, it doesn't have a lot of information. It doesn't even have the arrow. Next page, features, previous page. Hmm. I don't really know. So maybe we could have like a line, and we can have like how do you call that, subtitle? Because subtitle is not a thing, right? Subheader. I think subheader makes sense. Make more sense. So here we have the subheader, and this is like a normal and off 50, something like that. And so So the subheader will be the same, and then we can get back the description. Then it's a previous and previous. All right. Okay. Here we have the to do. And here you see that's because it's taking too much space and the arrow becomes very small. And in order to do it, in order to fix it, you just add a kind of flex num. I think if we have a class, we just put it in a class. So we have a flex num in order to make sure it doesn't being squeezed out. And in that sense, we can probably having more space for it. And line clamp. I think here we can have okay, this is 15, 14, smaller. And then we have a line. 3 lines or 2. I think 2 lines is enough. And then you see that here this is higher and this is the, so I think we should align with the height. So height should be 4. Yeah, so they align. And should we remove the arrow? Oh, we just make it back. Oh, I think column. Oh, I messed it up. All right, it looks like this. And arrow, you can have a margin button. Too much. Yeah, I think it's probably better to providing more information, isn't it? So this is a row, this is column reverse. Oh no, I think it's not reverse. I think it's just text, right? Should be good. But arrow. Items and yeah, that'll do. And so this will give it more information. So previous section. And the previous section, okay, maybe here we put a sub here and increase the opacity of the description. Yeah, and then we have like this. Oh, I know. So that means we probably have the subtitle in the same line. So it's gap 2, right and center. Oh, I mean, this is not super. This is not really matters. But it's just like, um, yeah. I think without the subheader, would that be better? Okay, yeah. Let's go with this basic one. I think that's more easy. Yeah, it's just annoying, you know. It doesn't really matter. It's just like I just wanted to get it right. Uh, and there's a lot of things I should make it better. But anyway, I think we're good. Right. And I start to wondering if we should give a minimum height. So we can say minimum height to be like to be 80%, something like that. So we kind of make sure that so this is not going to be too top. So I think 50% might be good enough already. So here you kind of have But I know, I mean, you cannot get super accurate results of these things. I mean, it probably won't matter because this is only currently. So currently, because we don't have any content, so you have this situation. But I would expect that every page later on will have more than one page, one screen. So I think that's relatively should be fine. And we should probably consider this situation. I don't know. So this would require content query, I guess. And that's, it's not content query, it's container query. Because this is the size of this container is not the screen. Oh, this one can be auto. If it's auto, it's just always taking up all the space. And I think in a sense, it might also do. So we can have a gap full and we can auto wrap. Doesn't work? Oh, the grid doesn't work. Does not work. Right. Hmm. Here. Okay, yeah. Maybe this is more consistent. You just like consistent space. You're taking all the space. Yes. Okay. I won't spend too much time. I won't spend any more time on this. I think we're good now. So so let's go to the README. I think we can revert this thing. I think we can revert this thing. And because we are now reusing this this one and retain this one. Yes. Okay. I think we're good. And we can check. Yeah, I'm bad at styling. And so we basically have a drop down for guide outline and previous and next button. Good. Navigation. Okay. And then let's face this. How we can get it? So as surround. Okay, what is surround? Sounds very magic. Navigation. So I think to get it out, I think we're just trying to print out all the things. Okay, navigation. Wait. So we have navigation, we don't need to query it ourselves, really. Okay. We don't need to query ourselves. Okay. I love the content driven mode, it's very nice. Okay, what is the globals? Let's just print it out. Um, surround. The surround will be what's this? Okay, just like next and previous. So we're probably not using it. Global navigation. What is globals? Global is nothing. And what is page? Oh, page is already. Oh, I already use an use content here. Okay, so we move it on the top. All right. So the page is like this, and I wonder if we have enough information for. I don't think so. So let's go to the type of the use content to see. Is any? How come is any? Okay, parsed content. Is any? Oh, I think someone forgot to type it. Hmm. All right. How can we get those information? Surround. As so surround is an array. So I think basically what I want is get the parent. So if they don't provide those information, I think we can probably calculate it. So calculate from the navigation. So the navigation is a tree. I think it's the same object as we had, yes. And that means we need to do a search, right? But yeah, I just doubt if we have a better solution. Yeah, I wonder if Nuxt content will have the use state. That's right. So you have the payload. Is the data too much? Oh, okay, that's a lot of data. Cool. Head, side map, location. So this is something. This is the root query. So we don't need this. And do we need this? Okay. Body. So the body we don't care. The header, the head, the meta. Okay, this is for the head. We don't care either. So I mean I think we should probably go to another page. Go to nested page, and we open it again. Refresh all the data. So this is still root. This is still root as well. Okay, so we don't have any more information here. Runtime config, and this is a config. This is not state. And what is DD? Okay, I think DD is something injected by Nuxt. So basically, when we got the surround, I think it's just like getting the surround from this object, and okay. So the first one is the previous, and the next one is the next, right? So it's basically like you basically have two items array, and one, and so like I think this is like where the next and the previous comes from, because it says it's like it's a computed property from the surround key. So we shouldn't like I think we shouldn't worry about this, and we go this page. All right, I think the let's do it this way. So because we know the current path, right, of current path of this page, so we split them out and to get the titles of each section. And I'm not so sure if I make it myself clear, but I think I know how to do it, and it shouldn't be that complex. So that's all the pages we have, right? So and we can have a content path and compute it, which is a page.value.path, yes. And the breadcrumb, compute it, and then we could have parts equal to, yeah, you got me. So basically split into passes, and then we can basically return parts and to make it easy to check. So we just return these things, and we don't need a dev tool now. So you have a view reactivity, and that is from this, and that's exactly what I want. So so the layer one, so the layer one would be, so we basically have I think that's define interface. So breadcrumb item like that. Yeah. So what do we expect is like name. Let's do title. So a title of these things, and then it's just like a pass of this thing, right? So what do we want is just like these items should return an array of this object. And what we could do is I think we can just use a map. And then this is the part and the item. So, oh no, it's not item, it's the index. So the path would be, so I think let's go part. And then the path is actually becomes you have the parts and you slice from here to join these things. And that's return the path to see. So we basically have, you should actually have a slice. All right. So we should have a view and view reactivity, and I think we should add a leading slash here. So then we basically have if we want to return some like things like this, right? So we return the object, and then we need to resolve the title. So the title can be to do. Let's make it to do and add a part here. Any type. Oh, really? Okay, as a string and undefined. Okay. So we basically have, you see that we have these two items, to do view, pass is view, and to do reactivity. And maybe we should add we should add the root as well. So that means, yes. So like this is like, there's a bread. Oops. Yeah. And if not, if there's no root, we just put a root item to it and it returns like that. And this is like we should to do and resolve it from the tree, from navigation like that. And so then we can basically render it. It should be straightforward, and we can have a template and be v4. So we can call bc. The key should be bc.path, I think. And then we can have that. And then the link is simple. So it's just a bc.path. And then here is like bc.title. And we can have the index as well. And we basically need to add a separator there. So we'll find the separator. It shouldn't be hard. So, right. And do so. Okay. Regular. I think this one. Maybe. So then we can have a like a separator here, and it can be a very smaller one. So you can see, okay, we got all the things, and now the end of here is like adding a little bit more, but so then we can move it to the top, and move it to the top is like moving it to the front. So we just need to remove the first one. So the first one is like v if idx is not equal to 0, and that's it. So we basically have everything in between. And if we want to, we can have opacity a little bit lower opacity, and we could have a minor expanding. So it can be a bit more narrow, but I think 2 is probably too much, so we can just have 1. Yeah. All right. And you see that's this is not something I want, but it's yeah. So you click it, it shows up another thing, and that is means here. So I think we can just turn this 2 into button. So when you're clicking on the bread, it shouldn't trigger the drop down, and then we can turn this back to be a depth. Yeah, I think that's it. Document is not found. What happened? Mm. Okay, I think here maybe. Oh. All right. So when clicking on the space, it opens up. While that's if you go to another one, right, and you click a space, it's still opening up. But if you click it here, you navigate into another path, and because here the path does not exist, click self. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, that will also do. But here, I think the button still better to be clickable. So I think click self might also do. Might also do. I think yeah. So so the case now becomes I find something is like the path can be sometimes the view, for example here it shouldn't be clickable. Uh but I will see. And so the first, let's do the how we can resolve these items, these things. So I'm not so sure if we have another kind of information. Do we have all pages? So this is navigations, but navigation is a tree, and actually I don't really want a tree. So I mean, I don't know. So we can try. We can try to find navi item from like that. Okay. It's kind of shame that it doesn't have any type information. So how can we type it? I don't understand. It's a ref of navi item. Parsed content, maybe. Yeah, we should. I think we should improve it. So here, I think we should allow these things to be null, maybe. Good. Okay, good. And now at least we have the types, right? So find nav item from path. And this one is a little bit tricky to search in a tree. And I don't know if I can just directly use the query. I'm a bit lazy to do so. And I think this is probably not a good way to do. So query content head. This is only head, but I think query content. Where title is sort deep. I think I just only need the title. Nothing fancy, to be honest. So I think let's try to. I don't know. All right, I think let's do it. So parts, we should split it out, and I don't know. That's right. That's right. So item can be, we can search from the past, and then item dot title, otherwise not found, maybe item. If we find item and we provide the path, otherwise we provide undefined, and that make it as a non-link. So here which has it nullable, and then what we could do here, I'm not so sure if if you provide a non-link to Nuxt link it directly to be a non-link. I don't know. We can try. So here we go back. So both two are not found, and that's interesting. And here we should just console log navigation, yeah, and also the path. So we can go to our console to see user message. Yeah. Okay, so it's a proxy array. Where is it? Where is it? Info. Okay, here. It's a proxy array, and the path is view concept, and we are searching for view. Okay, I think we are good, but it's just like the searching is not good. This one, right? And so now it's being resolved to view and view. Okay, I think here we think just resolve, and so if item, we just return item. That's the exactly match. So what we could do is like items. Yeah, I think we could do items, and items can be a navi items, right? And equal to navigation value by default. So we can do a recursive here, and probably don't need this. And here we just use items to search for items, and so here parents. Okay, so then we split out and to try to match for the parent, and we go reverse from the. I think we can go -1. So we could go like we can console log it to be searching, and then pass. Right. So this is can be parent pass, and then we can say from, and then if we have the parent, and then we return we start from the parent, so recursively, and it works. Let's see, and to check it, so we can refresh it. So okay, from these things. Okay, single from path. So when we search for like view intro, right? And because view intro does not exist on the navigation, so we search for view slash view, and then when we find slash view, and then we search for its children, and when it has the children matching this, so we can basically have that. So we click it. Cool. And I think here we need to. Okay. Hmm. I so so here now I don't want people to make to click the view because of the page does not exist actually, and but now it's still clickable because we are able to resolve the item, and while the item, hmm, I don't really know. Or maybe I think we should just put in a page there. I don't know. Okay, I think at least that's have it at. I think that's a very solid foundation now. And I should remove this navigation. Okay, so now we have guide, and we go to next concept, and we can have next concept, and we should probably change this title to be like intro or something, and then this is a concept. And for the concept, I think we should add in a little bit page on here, so the user shouldn't get lost of this page. Or maybe we should verify. I'm not so sure how we can verify it. And hopefully it's like if the navigation we can have a list, and then we can know that's how which page we have the, yeah. I think for doing that, I probably need uh to check the source code of Nuxt content in order to see how we can get a list. A full list is not a tree. So I think for rendering these trees, like it's good to have a tree, but sometimes like when we trying to search for existing routes, it's it might be easier to have a list, and so we can even know that, oh, the slash view, it has the children, but the page itself does not exist. So a lot of things to do. Okay, I think today we made some quite good progress. So here, good. Then we go to our README to check this thing. Yeah. Mm, nice. And we probably have a little search button. So here, I think it's just like, it should be easier to do. So let's do it now. I think just find the button search. This one. We need to do some. This one. Okay, good. And here, and when we click it, we basically have UI set command. It's shown. Okay, so then we can have a command, use command store. Yeah, and when you click it, it just like open. Do we have open? I think that's a very basic. Yeah, when you click it, it shows the search, and I find here it does not work. It's supposed to close the thing. Okay, I think maybe I forgot to bind the event. Yeah, for this back, we should when we click it, command is shown equal to false. Yeah, clean it up, and that's it. When you click it, when you click the black place, uh, you just close it. Good. And now we also got this check. And I think navigation can be called as good. Search is good. Well, it still needs some like enhancement here and there for the experience. But overall, I think the functionality is here. Good. All right. That's very. I hope that's not too intensive. Okay. I think we can call it a day for today's test, and I think we'll be able to achieve a lot. Super happy about it. Thanks. I hope you enjoy. All right, so I think for next for next live streaming will be this Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday, and that will be the last one of this section or this whole project of like doing the live streaming for this playground. So so hope like I think that means that this project is graduated. I don't know, but so I don't have any. I don't have a very specific plan for the next one. But that will be the last one. So we just do some cleanup, or like we can do a little bit like recap or something. Uh, but in general, this project is finished, and well, the functionality is finished. So the content is another story, and so just again that's so this week will be the last week, and the next week we don't have any scheduled streaming, and then it becomes random. So when I have some ideas, I'll let you know, and we can do a temporary or like timely streaming, but around the same time, but it's not scheduled as Tuesday and Thursday. So yeah. So do you have any questions? Or we can chat a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, sure. It's okay to have unrelated questions. And maybe it's not always. Okay. No side effects. Okay. You also gave me a link. Cool. Uh, yes, it'd be hard for me to select okay. Anyway, uh, it's not it's hard to select it. So https github.com. Oh, too fast. So this one. Okay, no side effects. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. So it looks okay. So I think this is this line, right? So so I'm just trying to explain a little bit. So we have uh if you ever saw it, so let's go to the view repo. Just I think that's the quick example I could think about it. So you can have you will have a pure this marker, and you see it quite often. I don't know if you look into the source code of some project, you see this quite often, and this is a compiler hint, and it's supported by the major bundler or something. So rollup or ESB will respect this. So the first is like the pure means like this notation is a pure, and what is pure is like so I have to pure is like no side effect, and what is side effect is that if I create a new file, right, and I put a function and I have a like add, and can be returns a plus b, right, and the a comes from here, b comes from here, and I export this add function, right. This is a I export the add function. So this is my library to say, and when you do it, you import it add from my add function, right? So so sorry, Bobby. I think in order to explain this, I think I need to explain the topic a little bit. So like everybody can follow. Otherwise you can. So I'll trying to explain these things. So when you use the library, so the user code, right? Then when you use it, you can get these things and you can get the console log, right? But anyway, what you're going to use this function. So this is just like how libraries work. So this is I just zoom out a little bit. So this is a library code. So now everything is good, and when you bundle it, the add function will be shipped into your code base. And then if I add a subchat, right? Subchat, I should call it sub, and then I add a sub. But so the library can have multiple functions inside, and while that's user code, maybe you don't need the subtraction, so you only need add. And then it's like the trade shaking means that you the bundler will see, okay, that you only use add, you don't use sub, right? And the sub will be removed from your bundle. So in your final bundle, if you don't use this function, you don't go with your code base. So it kind of have a good balance between like library can provide as many features as they could, while that the user only pay the cost when they use the certain function. But another case is like uh, what if you have a I can say that I can have a 2 equal to a result of 1.1, right? So in case you need 2, you can have a 2 here, and you can use that 2, right? So you know this is 2. But here it comes to a problem. It's like okay, when I know you don't use 2, if you don't use 2, and this can be removed, right? Because you don't use it. But it's calling a function, so that means the add needs to be pure. If the add is doing something like a console log add, and if this is being removed, then it's actually losing a something here, because this is calling immediately. And so usually, in order to do it, to say that okay, the tool should be only bundled when it's being used, even though add can be has some side effect. So here, that's why where you mark the pure. And so to tell the compiler to see when user does not use tool, it's safe to move away, to remove it, something like that. And then so I think have a Let me search for it. So this is something that's a kind of convention between bundlers, and there's no really spec for it. And I kind of started a project, kind of documentation is that this one. So this is a compiler notation spec. So if you check these things, it's like explaining that's what the pure notation is. So this is not done by me. That's just like I kind of drafted this spec because there's no spec for it. So I just think okay, if no one doing that, I'm just starting that. So so the either you use hash pure or add pure, it's the same. So so this is just telling compiler to say, okay, this function does not introduce any side effect, so you can remove it. But that means like, for example, so for view, it has like a defined component function, right? And define component function, and then this is something like usually it's just like a for and a return for. So this function should be considered as side effect free because it's just a wrapper. And so that means if you have like a component A equal to define component, something like that, right? Component B, and you both export them. But when the user only use the component A, the component B should be removed. But because the compiler may not know this defined component is a pure function, so every time you define such things, you should add these things. You should add a pure in order to make sure the component B is being removed when you do the tree shaking. And what this is a bit annoying, especially when you ask your user to be like you doing this all the time. So so another syntax is being introduced in rollup, and this is proposed by me, and this is no side effect. And so you're basically adding no side effect to this function, uh, above this function, to say okay, this function is safe. So so every time you call it, you know it's safe. So then it's safe the users or from the user library to see whenever you call this function, it's just pure. So you just make sure that okay, they always work. So so that's it. That's how this flag is for. So this is for this situation, and I think for your PR, I think it looks good. And so what what's your question? So this is actually you can just remove this micro. So okay. So before you have the micro transformation, and you add the pure, right? You add the pure to every call of that function. Okay. Yeah. I think that's okay to do it, and that's totally okay. Yeah. So one thing to note, this is not being adopted by all the compiler. I mean, not all the bundler. So compatibility table. So yeah, I think here we have the side effect. So as far as I know, currently only rollup support that, and okay, so SWC also support it. But just for your information, that's ES build does not respect it because ES build runs a bit like uh yeah, it's also I'm not so sure for Webpack, honestly. Uh, but if your main user is Vite, I think it is okay. So you just make sure. I think maybe you put it on. You just swap these two lines. So just to make sure this command is preserved in your dist, in your compiled results. So this can make this define I18 routes as a pure function. So if I were you, I think I'll probably swap these two command, swap these two line in order to make sure uh, it works. But I think maybe you need to do some experiment. But maybe the best is just to remove this command because it might checking the direct uh yeah, I think you have another way to work around it, and or you can, if I do is like I can add an underscore to this route, and you can add this exception to this rule. But anyway, I think it's better to directly have this command above this function. But maybe Rob will do, yeah, maybe Rob will works. I kind of forgot. Maybe we do some test for it, but yeah, I think you just verified it, but it looks okay for me. Yeah. Okay, I have another question. So you just tried Uno says so how to implement post like Taiwan. Um, so I think Uno says it has a we have a wait what here. So we have a preset called typography, and now you also have the post. So I think you can just use this. I think this is a slight misalignment with Tailwind, but I think it's okay to use it to modify it. Um. Oh, you mean a variant? Yeah, a variant is a bit tricky. So, uh, where is it? Variant group, concept variant. Yeah. So in order to do so, I think you probably need to write your own variant, and that will be a lot of details. I think I cannot cover it cover it today, and you should probably dig in or like you can just reference to the other preset or rules that's in the core preset or the preset from the community. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not so sure that this concept is like when you're building a front end. I think this is a more like a concern to the library author, right? When you're writing something that's when you're writing front end code, you don't really care about this or either the pure notation, right? I don't know, but I hope give you some uh idea of like how bundler works. Oh yeah, if you have, I think if you want to try, I think you can use this like repo here. Yeah. Oh, so here is a kind of tree shaking example, and yeah. So the square function is pure. Where is the output? It's still loading the rod. Okay. Do we have the result? Start over. Tree shaking. Okay, here you have the result, and the square is being removed. But if you do like a export const a equal to square, like maybe 4 equal to square 2, and it's being removed as well. But if you do like and here if you're adding a side effect, oh, so this is a side effect, this is a side effect. Or like if you like adding global, like if you do anything like global, it's not pure, and then it's being considered as a side effect, and then it's actually, even though you are not using for or square is being included. But if you do like a pure notation here, here, yeah, you see it's being removed if I remove this thing. You see, it's being removed, and only when you use for, when you're referencing for and for to say, oh, this feels bugged to me. Okay, now you see that the for is here, even though it's marking as pure because you are using it. Otherwise, it's being removed. And the pure, if you remove the pure, and if you do like no side effect here, they work the same. I'll just copy it to make sure I do the right time. Yeah, it works the same, you see. But that is for every, so you can have like, and that also works without like putting too pure, something like that. Does that happens for virtual import modules as well? So yes, so virtual is just like a module that's living in the memory, doesn't write to the file system. Because you can imagine that when bundling, uh, you basically it's just trying to read your file system to grab the file, and when you're importing some file, you're just trying to search looking for that file, right? And then it's read the files into the memory and do the compilation work and write it back. And so the virtual module is basically skipping the reading file, reading from file system step. Instead, it just serve from the memory. So uh, yeah, so you're basically swapping file read inside like a providing virtual module, something like that. So you can import a path that does not exist on the file system, but when you're providing it at a runtime, so you can directly grab the content. So it works exactly like the other modules. It have no different. It's just like how the file content being served. And in a similar way, it's more like you can do some like transformations or load function to a module. So when you load a module like this, you can, yeah. How do we explain? I think it's just like it's a module that's living in the memory. Yeah, it's just like you can use the virtual import inside a virtual module for sure, because uh how the virtual module does not affect how the module being resolved. It just only affect where the content is from. So you basically work as any other modules, but I think the path resolution will be a bit different because the when you do the like a relative path, right? If you are you can also importing a real file in a virtual module, but it's just like you probably better to providing the absolute path. Otherwise, this relative path is resolving from the path of the virtual module. Surely one could exist before the other. Um, not so sure what you mean. But you can also providing an empty virtual module and then using a transform to swap the content later. So I would say that these two modules are actually virtual module here because it does not write to a file system. But yeah, it's another concept. If you have free time, please add view Uno's access to view telescope. How I don't know. I don't know how view telescope works, but isn't that automatically? It'll be a shame if I have to add it manually. I think you just crop the web and search for it. Not interested. Okay. I don't know. Maybe there are some bugs, but I don't know. I'm not so sure if it's really necessary to be listed on the view telescope. I don't use it honestly, but is that people use it to find good view project? I mean, it's probably some bugs on the view telescope side. It does not probing. It does not probing anymore? I don't know. Yeah, I know you need to install the extension, but I'm not so sure if you install an extension and visit Uno CSS website, would that be included in the index? Yeah, I basically means that I don't know how it works, but I don't think it has to be me to do so. I think the community can do it if that's really necessary. I guess. Okay. Anyway, and I think that's called for today. So I will see you on next Tuesday. No, next Thursday. Yeah. So two day after. All right. So yeah, thank you for coming. Yeah. See you soon. Let me stop it. Thank you.